Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the short lecture and it was useful uh, to get some basic idea of Internet of Things. I already received tons of questions on Discord, and perhaps you can also put your questions on YouTube channel that I am on now. But before going through your questions, I would like to provide some updates. So the planning document on CoursePress is updated with new dates, in particular about the quizzes. Uh, since the canvas was not prepared until today, we moved the quiz dates for the first two quizzes to the following weeks. Uh, the canvas page is open now, so you have the access to the canvas, and also the quiz for the IoT basics will be available soon, maybe tomorrow, and so you can start the quiz right away, but you don't need to finish the quiz right away. You can even finish the quiz later, on the later half of the course, but make sure you participate to the quiz and don't miss it. Another update, on Canvas, we have about 270 students now. I guess some of you might be missing on Canvas, and you might be missing because of you are not registered on Ladok. And if you are not registered on Ladok also, try to register as soon as possible. And if you cannot register, send us an email with your info, and we can look into that. Because if you are not registered on Ladok, you will not receive the grade in the first place, and then you will not be able to join on Canvas, because on Canvas we will conduct the quiz and the peer review, both these activities. Uh, Now I will go through the questions. So I will start with the most common question. If the materials for the lectures will be available or not in some way. We are not providing any slides or PDF or PowerPoint of the lectures, because all the lectures or the video of the lectures will be available on our YouTube platform and our course page on CoursePress. So you can watch the videos anytime you want, and most of the quizzes will be based on the lectures. So it's important that you watch those videos when you get time. Uh, then the second question that I got about the categories of IoT. There are consumer applications, commercial applications, military, and so on. So Paria asked if we want to start our project about any of these areas, do we have to have prior knowledge about any of this specific category? The answer is no. You can start with a very basic and simple idea, and gradually develop your idea with the help of our TAs. So you don't really need any knowledge on the various domains and applications of IoT. Uh, then there was also a common question on quiz. So for the quiz, as I mentioned earlier, it will be on Canvas by tomorrow, I would say. And if you are already on Canvas, you can do it in the first chance if it's straight and plain and simple for you. But you might have, you basically have multiple opportunities. So if you don't make it in the first attempt, you can take it up till, I think, 5 times or so on. But the passing grade is for the quiz is also 60%. So some quizzes we have 20 quizzes, some we have even more than 20, but you have to get 20% in order to to be considered for quizzes as complete. Uh, let's take more questions from Discord, as there are many questions just flowing in. I got a question also from Nicole. So that was the first question basically of the day. Uh, she was asking making her projects future proof. So it not only her projects, but any IoT projects or any IoT devices. Yes, similar to any software products, this kind of uh, hardware-based or hardware-oriented products also need some maintenance. So if you are not doing the regular maintenance, your device or the might crash. Your battery might die. Your network connectivity might be down. So there are many aspects of maintenance to make sure that your IT devices are running and providing you the data and services. Uh, 10 years, 20 years could be a long time, but low power networks or low power consuming devices like PICOM devices allow you to run a device even for a long, like 10 years or 5 years. Given that as our any software or hardware applications or devices, we need also regular maintenance effort on our IoT devices that will ensure that your services are running for a long time. And Daniel Johnson rightly mentioned that. Uh, I received questions about lectures being pre-recorded. Yes, some of our lectures could be pre-recorded because sometimes teachers are not available at this time, or sometimes the lectures that are pre-recorded will be uh, accompanied by live Q&A sessions or discussions like this. So you very rarely just follow the videos and there will be no one to interact with. Usually we will provide with questions and answer sessions like this so that it's more interesting. And Tom asked a question. I think it's the same problem with all the tech. We can't really. What can be done, however, is to optimize and maintain. Okay, I think it's the same questions about the future proof of IoT devices and maintenance. Uh, then Nicole asked another question. If a new network is rolled out, on the devices using the earlier hardware become obsolete. Uh, it can be if the previous network is out of the uh, service, but you can always configure or change your network connectivity at the hardware level to adapt to the new network connectivity or technology. But yes, network connectivity is also a fast changing domain that is evolving every year, if not every 6 months. Uh, let me grab another question. There was some jokes about the CIA logo on the privacy and intrusion, but yeah, that's ironically. Then where will be the quiz posted? Alessandro asked. It will be on Canvas. if you are on the canvas, you will be able to see, and there will be also announcement on canvas if something is made public, so that you don't miss anything. The first quiz will be mainly about this lecture, someone asked. Yes, the first quiz will be on basic IoT, and basically we have 4 quiz. The next quiz will be about Python programming, because we also have a pre-recorded lecture on Python where you can follow the pre-recorded lecture and do the exercises. And at the end, there will be a quiz on Python as well, Python programming. And there are other quizzes on sensors and IoT uh, infrastructure. Uh, Daniel asked, will it be possible to have the material that was presented in the classes? If you mean the slides or PDF, as I already mentioned, we usually don't have uh, a PDF or slides that we provide to the students, but YouTube videos are a great way to follow the slides and lectures whenever and wherever you want. So I think in that sense, YouTube is a bit more flexible and easy to follow than the slides. So the first quiz is on week 25, that is Friday, uh, June 25th. But someone was also asking that this is a midsummer eve or midsummer evening. As I mentioned, it's not firm deadline, so the quiz will be open for some weeks, and you can take any time as you prefer. And then someone was asking about Canvas link. It's on the course page on CoursePress. There is a link called study guide. So if you go on the study guide, you will find all the links that are relevant for this course. And if you don't find the link to the course page or to the study guide, just ask in the questions and answer page, and someone will give you the link. Or maybe someone is already provided on the Discord. Yes, someone is able to access to the Canvas page, and yes, and the quizzes are not yet available. They will be published on time, and so someone was also asking how many percentage was it for passing the quiz. So it's 60%. If there are 20 quiz, you have to get right 12. But as I said, there are multiple opportunities. So if you don't get it right on the first chance, and if you try it 5 times, basically the highest grade will be count in. But the grade in quiz does not matter as long as you just pass and participate in the quiz. And there was a question also from Ali. How would E to A work in 1, 2, 3 in ladder grade? We can take this discussion offline, since this is not relevant to the today's lecture. And then there was a question from Ashish any RTOS can be used with IoT devices. Like yes, you can use RTOS if you use Raspberry Pi or other or Arduino or other devices, but I don't think you need it for the PyCom device. And I think you can also get more information on your projects and hardwares and softwares on our weekly uh, workshops that will start from next Tuesday. Another question from Julia. Does the project have to be strictly practical, product-like, or can it be more artsy as long as it's fulfilled all the course requirements? Um, you can present it in an artistic way, but it has to do something with some or at least one sensor and one a simple let's say if you have PyCom device or any other IoT device or hardware, connect your sensor to that device and uh, put the data on the cloud or any other uh, platform. PyCom also have their own platform, or let's say Adafruit or any other cloud platform, and visualize it. It should be enough to get a minimum passing score, but yes, in other way, this course is highly practical, meaning that you need to work with sensors and hardwares at the minimum state. Uh, on the canvas, we don't need any discussion page as being asked by Ashish, but we already have a good number of channels and rooms on Discord where you can fit in your discussion topic. You can find which discussion room is more suitable for your discussions. So Canvas is more like for assessment of this course. So the quizzes and the peer review stuff only. But if you want to ask a question or ask about a problem about something in Canvas for quiz or peer review, you definitely can ask or send a message inside the Canvas to the teachers. Uh, Cornell was asking if a device is not connected to the internet, for example, in a smart building, connected directly or wirelessly to the smart building controller, is it still considered an IoT device? Yes, because you are connecting through the internet uh, either via wireless or even if you connect it using the cable. So as long as you are connected to the internet and the data is public or private and that data is usable, uh, any device that does this is considered as an IoT device. Let me take some of the questions from YouTube as well. I think same questions Nicole asked. I have missed it, but can we get the PPT or PDF from the lectures? In most cases, no, because we are streaming on YouTube and you can watch these videos as many times as you want. So we are slowly going away from the PDF and PPT-based lectures. Do we Adriana asked, do we have some material to study for the quiz? Quizzes are mostly kind of giving you general knowledge or some basic concepts, let's say from the IoT perspective, or if it's on the Python, then on the Python programming. So you can study by yourself or you can watch the video. That should be enough if you watch all the videos from this course to to pass the quiz. And as I said, if you uh, do not pass the quiz for the first attempt, you you had a wrong answer in one of your quiz, you should learn from that mistake and you can try second time the same quiz. So it's not like a hard quiz that won't allow you to get the grades or pass this course. Sebastian asked, many speak about Canvas, and is this a working space? If so, where this is to be found? So Canvas is not a working space for you. It's more a test bed for the course. So you will do only the quiz and peer review on Canvas. And the link to the Canvas is available on the course page or the study guide. Uh, if you don't have the link to the course page or study guide, ask a question on the Discord and anyone will give you the link, or even I can give you the link after the lecture or after this session. Then there was a question about book or source where you can read and learn more about IoT. We are also not following any specific materials or any specific book, because this is also very practical course, a very applied course. But there are tons of documentation. So if you read about PyCom documentation, if you read from Raspberry Pi documentation and or Arduino documentation, they have basically a very well documented resources that you can learn about IoT and IoT devices and sensors and various platforms. Caesar, uh, Cazer, if I pronounce it correctly, asked, would it be possible to get the pre-recorded lectures released earlier during the day? Uh, that would make it easy for questions and answers. Yes, I agree with you. For the next time, if we have some pre-recorded lectures, we will try to release earlier in the morning, let's say, and so that you can watch it. And someone might not be able to watch during the morning due to various reasons. But yes, this is a good idea. Uh, Another question from Unetu, Ewnetu. So I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. I registered the course, but I did not see anything on Canvas. So on Canvas is right now empty. It's not empty, but things are not made public yet. Uh, they will be made public on time or over the course. So don't worry about Canvas now. Focus on the videos that we are publishing on YouTube. We also have lecture tomorrow, more interesting lecture tomorrow on IoT and hardwares and various applications of IoT. This will be enough for now to get some ideas and to get on board before you actually start your workshops next week. Uh, will so Ashish again asked a question: will the grading be affected if we score low on quizzes? So as long you pass the course, no matter if you got 60% or 80% or 90%, it doesn't matter. So as long as you finish the quizzes and pass the quizzes, that will be considered as done. So the percentage of the quizzes will not affect your grades. About visualizing the data, Hamed Talebi asked, and a probable machine learning algorithm that are different public clouds like AWS, Google IoT, or Microsoft Azure. We can install our own like TIG stack or roadnet. Yes, you can also use Node-RED and other platforms to do your projects and to design your and implement your projects. we also have projects last year that used Node-RED and other platforms to design and implement their IoT projects. It's not necessarily that you need to use Amazon platform or Google or Microsoft platform for your projects. But if you do, that's great. IBM also have their own platform for IoT. Uh, Yulia asks another question: can we make a device that fetches data from internet via an API and displays it? For example, a device that light up every time someone makes a tweet, or is it about sensing via the device? Um, so the example that you provided here, it's a smart device, but it's not generating any data. So if you can generate any data out of your smart application and that is reusable, that's a plus. But I would say, as a project for this course, it's a good idea, but it's not a suitable idea. So we have around 2 to 3 minutes. If you have any questions, I think I already answered most of the questions. I might miss some of it. Uh, Ali also asked, will there be a final exam in this course, or will be only the quizzes and the project we have to do? Yes, there is no final project in that sense, in that formal sense. If you finish and pass all the 4 quiz, if you do your project and write the report according to the template we provide, that should be, and of course you have to do the peer review, because unless you finish the peer review, even if you do all the necessary steps like passing the quiz or finishing your project, writing your report and so on, even if you do not finish the peer review, you will not receive your grade. So peer review is the final mandatory step that you have to finish or do in order to get the grade. I someone said there was some video drops out sometimes, but I don't. Okay, so it seems there are other people also. Hannah mentioned, can you please explain more about data visualizations using sensors, let's say light, heat, or sound sensors? There are number of platforms or IoT platforms where by using simple sensors, let's say light sensors, uh, you can send signals or data to those platforms. So Adafruit or PyBite, these are some of the simple examples. Let's say if your light sensors or heat sensors can read the data, the heat sensors will send the heat value to your uh, platform, and using that platform or from that platform, you can create your dashboard by yourself. So data visualization is very simple once you have the data inside the platform. And as I said, the more uh, examples and more discussions and more concrete ideas will be discussed by our TAs regarding the project. So any questions about your project, any ideas about your project, you can openly discuss during the workshops. And there was another question: do we have a lecture on Friday? You can check the schedule. I don't have the schedule right now in front of me, but I can also check on behalf of you. So Friday is no, we don't have any activity on Friday, it seems. So there is no lecture on Friday. Uh, Previously, it was the quiz day for IoT, but now, due to the fact that Canvas was introduced a bit late to you, we moved the quizzes to next Friday. So this Friday there is no activity from your side, but me and other teachers, probably Frederick and uh, other teachers might join. So every Friday we have this video blog at 3 o'clock where we will answer your questions in a similar fashion that I am doing now, but more from the more on the agenda from the teacher's side than from the student's side. And just to confirm you that we do not have any lectures or activities on Fridays except this video blog at 3 o'clock every Friday. So, any other questions? If not, I will conclude this session, and please join at 6 tomorrow for an interesting session on IoT and hardwares and applications of IoT with Anna from University of Bremen in Germany. And have a nice evening, everyone.